I
I was just gonna say, um, like I do guess it's different, like because I live in Italy, so I guess it's very different. Or I mean, I think the process might be the same, but I just want to, like, how what should I do and what should I do, like to get a manager, and what it's. Wait, am I frozen?
no.
Okay, sorry. What like what should I do? Like, what when I go to like somewhere the to get a manager in the do I have to be prepared like with I don't know headshots or something like that and more
Yeah,
because
yeah. I mean, look, I think having a good headshot is always important. Having that ready to go. You know, it's interesting. There's a casting director who out here. Her name's April Webster, and she actually goes to Italy quite a bit. And actually is very. She cast a series called. She cast a ton of stuff. Lost was a series that she cast. Um,
She's huge. She's one of the biggest in Hollywood.
Yeah, and she goes to Italy quite a bit and meets with Italian casting people. I don't have the relationships with those casting directors in Italy, but she had, you know, she certainly does. And it was interesting to hear her talk. I was speaking with her about a month ago. You know, I would say 20 years ago, people would say, "Oh, you need to learn, try to get rid of your accent, right, and do American." Now, with everything international and so many series shooting everywhere, that's less important, quite frankly, right? So, which was
Yeah.
interesting and cool to hear from her. Um, I think if I were you, I would want to know who are the top casting people in Italy, right? And try to get on their radar somehow. Do you know who they are?
I actually before the class I was doing some research and I found some
Yeah.
and yeah I don't have the names now but I found some and there is actually one who's coming next month here in my city and I wanted to see.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good question, and yeah, I mean, I know there are definitely a couple of casting people out there that are very that work and have significant jobs. I mean, I'm happy, by the way, to email it. We were just coincidentally just speaking about it. So I'm happy to reach out to her, Sean, and ask her the names of those people. But you know, again, since you're in Italy, what part of Italy are you in?
It's Torino, Turin, in the north.
The north. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if they're north, south. I don't know, but I'm you know, now you have me curious about it as well. But yeah, I would
Well, I
try to
think
get
what
on their radar. We touch
I
on
was going to say, you know, the tricky thing that you hear a lot, you can't get a job without representation, you can't get representation without a job. But like as Steve said, you know, there is no complete A to B to C way. There's just desire and hunger and keep knocking at the door. And I know that sounds vague, but to be more specific, now we live in a much more technologically advanced time. You can now do a scene with one of your scene partners, with, like Steve said, making sure that the lighting is good, making sure that you have a clear background, making sure that the sound is good. And if you have a piece of tape, like I've seen all of you do things in class, I'm like, that was really high standard. That was high quality. We get a tape like that. You, as Steve said, you will look, because you're all in different countries. So you look, who are the casting directors? Who are the managers? And then, you know, it's just about really passionately keeping going with that. I mean, I think someone like, you know, Steve, if you had somebody who submitted and again, and you eventually went, oh, you know, I'll have a look, I'll just look at this tape. If somebody's genuinely good and you go, yeah, there's talent there, that it can just be as simple as that. I mean, it might be for the person, it might be the 500th door that they've knocked on before this person like you or somebody in your position sort of goes, you know, I'll have a look. And if the work is good enough, you know, talent does prevail, I think, as hard as it can be, especially when you're starting out. Would you agree, Steve?
Yeah, I know. I do agree. Talent rises to the top, and I think perseverance and being able to do what you're saying without being you know, quite frankly, annoying.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It's a fine line, is the truth. But I do appreciate someone that has reached out. I've had people that have reached out, and there's very little, but and I always get back to them, and then you know, a year later, they're like, "Hey, just wanted to give you this update. I did this year, A, B, and C. You know, and in a way, it sort of has, you know, hasn't happened all the time, but out of that, sometimes it makes me like, oh, this person's really, they're working really hard, and I really respect that, right? Like, there's something you want to help. You know, everyone wants to help, is the truth. Like, I mean, I think Hollywood gets a bad rap, but like, oh, there's so many bad people, and yeah, there's assholes, quite frankly, but there's also people that are genuine, that are real, and I think that, you know, I also think people love to take credit when they can, right? For like, oh, I was there at the beginning of their career. And, you know, casting directors will always say that to me. And I'm like, oh, really? Where were you, like, you know, the last 5 years?
But you've broken quite a few people. I mean,
a lot.
You've had a lot. I mean, one of my best friends, my brother in arms, Michael Raymond James, when he came to you guys, hadn't done almost anything, right? And you guys said to him, I think this is really interesting, because Mikey's one of the best actors I know, and I would take a bullet for him. I'd give him my kidney if he needed it. I love him to death, and I am with these guys because of Mikey. And they said to him, and the reason I preface it by saying how talented I believe he is, as does Steve, is they said, okay, we'll audition for us. And obviously Mikey, being the talent he was, not only joined with them and has been with them and will be with them for life, but you kind of nurtured that talent. That was somebody who wasn't working, like he was in a position like you guys are in now, and now he is a named actor and a highly respected actor that, you know, gets seen by quality people. So it's possible. Yes, Eleanor.